actually don't know. I mean, with this law being in Korea, it's like that if you're underage, you are not allowed to play after 12 o'clock. And Creator, being 16, might actually find himself in exactly this position. He has 1 hour left to close things out here. Starting to the left side of Antigua Shipyard is our Protoss player from the Prime team. It is...
Creator Prime.
That's actually such an interesting point that I would have never thought of, because obviously his account is not tied to his social security number because he's using a Blizzard official account, but legally he's not allowed to play. And on a broadcast match, I don't know what would happen if he actually comes to that point.
Yeah. To the right side we have his opponent. Creator, of course, already has 1 win in this first tiebreaker, but will the Terran player just roll over and die, or will we have once again a very weird situation in this group? The Terran player, of course, starting for MTW, and his ID is...
MTW SuperNova.
I'm actually 100% sure that Creator is not allowed to play after 12 o'clock, because we had him in an online tournament just recently and he mentioned that to us.
Yes. It is actually the law that if you're under 18 years old, you cannot play after midnight. And every account in Korea for every online game requires you to sign up with your social security number. So therefore, if you try to play after midnight, you will be locked out. Now in this case, he's playing with a Blizzard account, but since he's on television, I don't think he wants to break the law here. I don't know how this situation will occur. He may just have to, the matches may have to be postponed.
You know, to be honest with you, I want that to happen. That would be the best thing. And we were like, okay guys, we really want to play, but we can't. And just think about it like this. We have a tiebreaker scenario once again. We go into the second tiebreaker, and it's, let's say, 11:45. They start the game, and suddenly the clock is ticking. And Creator knows, I have to end this match in the next 2 minutes. And I have to end it fast.
And he just doesn't GG. He starts hiding pylons around the map so that his opponent cannot kill him. Only the law can. Only the law can stop him, man.
Wow.
What if Creator's a rebel? By the way, we didn't talk about the builders. And SuperNova is going for 1-base factory tech, which likely means he will go for Banshees of some play.
Yeah, indeed. And on the other hand, we have Creator now starting with his Warp Gate tech, of course. And let's see what exactly SuperNova is going to do here. So far, he has 1 gas, not 2.
Yeah, no second gas, indicating he may actually just go Siege Tank Expand.
Oh, he's faking him out here, isn't he?
Yeah, he wants him to think there's a one Rex expand of some kind. He was able to lock the probe out, so Creator has no information. If he were able to get up the ramp, he would be able to see the reactor on the barracks, but he can't do that with the Marines at the bottom of the ramp. And SuperNova saves the SCV.
Yeah, he saves the SCV, and currently, of course, the probe on the bottom of the ramp will try to poke in fairly soon and then see the bunker. SuperNova is still on 1 gas, doesn't have the second one. And yeah, this positioning for the... Oh, there is the starport already. And the position for the factory is... Yeah, he's moved the factory. He flew it over to the... over the ledge and is now just producing the first Galleons.
This looks like it's going to be a drop play, similar to actually how we saw Happy play TBT against this very player. This is quite interesting how he's going to execute this. Creator going double gates before Robo, which actually allows him a lot more production. This is a really good situation for him.
Yeah,
against this type of play.
I mean, in this situation, if he goes straight for the robotics because he wants to have a quick look at what exactly is going on, then he will find himself in a spot where he knows what's coming, but he can't stop it because he just doesn't have the production.
Creator checking around now with his Stalker, making sure there's no proxies. Unfortunately, he's not going to check the location on the opposite side of the map.
And guys, once again, just in case if you are not quite certain about what's going on here right now, Creator winning the first game means that if he takes the game against SuperNova here, he is in Code S. If SuperNova decides the game in his favor, he will have to face Vampire on the next map.
If SuperNova wins that game, then he is Code S.
If Vampire wins it,
then he has to play against Creator, and the circle will continue.
Yeah, exactly.
Basically, it's the first player to get 2 wins in a row will be in Code S, to put it in a simpler way. Alright, he sees the Marines, does not see the medevac with the with that probe. He's not rallying his Hellions over, he needs to send those over right now. Oh well, this is going to be so hard for Creator to defend. He's got very few units out on the map.
But he has a few units in the main base. Yeah. He can use them in order to force field here. And we've seen crazy force field crafts by Creator already. Here comes the expansion for SuperNova.
He dodges the Watchtower with his Hellions. He may be able to trap the Hellions outside. Oh, he doesn't see the Marines in his main. SuperNova in a great position here.
SuperNova is moving in now, the Hellions on the low ground. In the main base we have the Zealots trying to take care of the Marines, but here comes the Korean barbecue, the probes being pulled immediately. 3 workers killed already, nice force field, really good force field.
Yeah, SuperNova not controlling his Hellions very well, in fact. And the Marines on the main base will finally be cleaned up, and more probes going down. And back at home, SuperNova has a Raven and a command center, and uh-oh, more probes being killed.
A lot of them.
13 in total, and oh!
Wow, he takes down more of them, but now how many could he actually take down? He took down 14, and the Harvester count is 24 to 27 in favor of the Terran player with the additional mule. But double base for Creator already, so saturating 2 mineral lines instead of 1.
Looks like he's going to go for another drop. Sends a medevac back to pick up some more Marines. Now this is the scary part because Creator still does not have very many units on the map. If he's out of position for a second when the drop comes in, a lot of these probes already heavily injured will be taken out extremely quickly.
And right now the supply in general in favor of Creator with 52 against 44, but this dropship could change things very, very fast. But the Stalkers are ready. They are in position and they spotted already that there's a medevac, that there's another attempt of SuperNova to drop.
And his orbital is finishing up. Worker count 30 to 32 with double mules. This game is pretty even, Calor. This is actually a pretty exciting way to go into game number 2. Observer flies in. We'll see the type of production. Sees that he's switching into actually medevac play rather than keeping tanks in his composition.
And Stim has been started as well. He wants to have the Stim upgrade. Whereas we have Creator with the first Immortals now in the picture. Immortal number 1 being built. The Harvester count currently 36 to 33, so Creator making good use of his Chrono Boost and therefore getting once again a little bit ahead in the economy. It's transitioning now into the Robotic Spay. Is not satisfied with Immortals only, he wants to have the Colossus.
Yeah, he wants those Colossi indeed. The double eBays are going up for SuperNova, and he needs to start some Viking production fairly soon, but with already the first 2 medevacs on the way, he can scout a little bit with that, and obviously he still has the 3rd medevac that's on the map with Marines in it, but he's got a lot of information available to him if he decides to use it. For example, if he decides to drop in the main again, he'll see the robotic support bay. If he floats his factory into the natural, he'll see his opponent's composition. He has a lot of different ways to find out he needs to start Viking production.
And we have a lot of upgrades currently for SuperNova. With the double engineering bay that he has, he goes for +1/+1. Creator with the extended thermal lens upgrade, getting the first Colossus right now. And so far we don't see a forge for him. 1 Marine for SuperNova is guarding the 3rd. He wants to know when exactly the Protoss player is trying to take a 3rd base here. At Creator, well, he's banking up a little bit of gas here, but of course those Colossi are pretty expensive. Yeah. As the main base still secure with the units that he has in position. So draw play is something that SuperNova at this point won't even attempt, but he's moving out with the army that he has right now, and of course this Raven gathered up a fair amount of energy already.
And with these gates being added by Creator, he really wants to hit this 2 Colossus timing. And this is actually really scary for SuperNova. They're moving out against these Colossi that are coming. He doesn't have Stim or Combat Shields yet. Or actually, Combat Shields just finished. If he actually botches this engagement, he's going to find himself way behind. This is the most important probe, most valuable probe. MVP sees these medevacs, and he's going to be able to pull his Colossus into the main if he wants to. He doesn't notice, though.
He doesn't really see it, but there is SuperNova dodging the edge, and now with the scan spotted, he moves into a better position. But can he really prevent those medevacs from dropping? He's moving in, but way too late. Here come the dropships, and this robotic spay is actually exposed. He needs to be very careful. He needs the Colossus, but he might lose the robotic spay. And this is something that we talked about in the past.
Rage is 5 seconds for being completed, and it does not finish. Now he can pick up and go.
It makes me so mad to see something like it. We've talked about this in the past. Why would you place down your most important tech structure at the top of your base? Why not at the natural? This is the drop spot for every Terran, and he lost his bay and he lost the upgrade. Something like this can lose you the game.
Yeah. And the Creator is now forced to attack.
You know, this is because Protoss players, well, you are a little bit on autopilot. You have been doing this for months, for years. And now is the time for the last few months when when Terran players started to execute this drop play much better. But Protoss players have to react. They have to start to hide those really important tech structures at the low ground, at the natural.
Ah, the pylon! With 4 hit points left. Kills it with a Marine, so he cannot reinforce. More pylons, though, coming up on the right side of the map. Creator needs to make this attack work. Right now, SuperNova has 1-1 upgrades. The Raven is energy at 84. Not enough for point defense drone yet, but very soon. There are already 4 Vikings out. He's about to have 6.
And he is, of course, out here without without extended thermal lance, which is a huge problem for him, especially against the bunkers and everything right now.
Yeah, he's hitting a timing that you would have right with thermal lance finishes without thermal lance.
Yeah, it's horrible for him. The spot is really awkward, and SuperNova with this small attack did so much damage. Now he's moving in. Those Colossi dangerously close to the front, and they are targeted down immediately. The first one is already dead, but Creator might be able to push through regardless.
The Immortals are doing a lot of damage here. The Colossi fall. He needs to land those Vikings. There's a lot of medevacs here, but not a lot of bio to support them. Those Immortals just doing so much. The Viking on the high ground falls. SCVs are pulled. Looks like Creator is going to get into Code S. He pushes his way through.
Creator is on the move right now, and here comes the pain train. The SCVs are being pulled, but it's already too late. 83 supply against 66. Creator is still taking down unit after unit. The SCV count 24 against 46 probes, and Creator looks like the sure winner in this best of. Well, it's a little bit of a
tiebreaker, yeah.
It's whatever, yeah, the tiebreaker. He is about to enter Code S, if not for some miracle for SuperNova.
SuperNova has just got a few units left. He's not mining a lot right now. Creator banking up a lot of resources, though.
SuperNova definitely nervous here, and he should be, because Creator, he is just inches away from edging out another win in this tiebreaker. He took down Vampire. Can he take down SuperNova as well? Double Forge follow-up for Creator. He's playing this very cautious.
This is Creator's style, man.
And moving in again.
He moves in again. Right now, SuperNova's on 2-1 upgrades, but I don't think against this amount of firepower from Creator, it will really matter.
But he has Stim, of course, and it's always really dangerous to engage against Stim. So much DPS for SuperNova. Creator in the better position, though. He has the one observer on the high ground. He knows exactly what's going on here. He's a little bit reluctant to commit here. He knows that he has the advantage, and currently he's getting +1/+1. He's also getting the Twilight Council. Moves up the ramp, wants to at least take down this barracks.
Yeah, he wants it, but SuperNova's not going to let him have it easily. He stims, drops some force fields here. The Immortal in the mix, adding so much extra damage.
Great force fields.
Yeah, they're so good, but the pickup is good for SuperNova as well. The damage output for SuperNova is just not as strong as the damage output for Creator. Even with Guardian Shield here, I don't think SuperNova can hold.
I don't think so either. The reinforcements are moving in. An 87 supply against 60 tail the tail. Here comes Creator. He is down in upgrades, but he just has superior firepower. The armor supply is nearly the same.
Well, counter with the medevacs. If that Immortal falls, SuperNova will hold. And he holds. He actually pushes back the Stalkers. He's going to catch one as well here.
He is able to push Creator back, and currently we have 26 SCVs against 50 probes. Creator just has the much better income.
And SuperNova with the much better upgrades, +3 weapons on 2 base.
That is so true. He has such great upgrades here. Whereas Creator is just trying to get +1/+1, SuperNova is already on his way to get the +3 attack upgrade.
Lands the factory to try to deny this Nexus.
Even builds a Hellion.
Yeah, that Hellion I think was resources wasted, but he's going to try to scout if there are any Templar coming through. And actually his Hellion will get into the main base. He doesn't control it.
Decides not to, and dies to the Stalker. But yeah, at this point in time, the army supply is actually in favor of SuperNova with 35, well, now to 39.
He needs to hit a timing. He needs to be aggressive here. He's got all of his units rallied across the map. If he doesn't drop it in the main, for example, he could catch up in Harvester count. He could do some damage. He moves his factory back over. He is actually going to deny the Nexus even further.
500 minerals for Creator right now, and he's a little bit indecisive of what exactly he wants to do, but decides to warps in a few more units. 5 Zealots. He can't really take his expansion right now, not with the factory floating.
2-2 right now out for SuperNova, about to be 3-2 versus 1-1 of Creator, who has not started his 2-2 upgrades yet. A huge anomaly for him, in fact, to not start those upgrades immediately. He's got Blink. Charge is on the way, so he's starting to get those gateway-centric upgrades.
He just doesn't know if he has the time to complete the upgrades, and he rather wants to have some units in position. So warps in units first, adds additional attack. Here comes the Templar Archive, and also the Warp Prism, as you already pointed out. So he might start the +2/+2 very soon here, but right now he wants to have more units in order to be prepared against this push.
The Warp Prism is really cool. I like this idea because that's not very expensive, and that's something that allows him 2 places to warp in his units. SuperNova is going to have to move his command center to the 3rd very soon. He's not actually going to be able to mine anymore from his main. He's only got 1 patch left with 100 minerals there.
And of course, as soon as he has to transfer all these probes down to the low ground, the superior worker count won't really help him.
Yeah, very true.
I mean, it looks nice on the tap, but still, it doesn't really help him.
No, it really doesn't. And look at this position for SuperNova. He's just trying to catch some Zealots for free. He knows there are no Colossi on the map. He can actually pick up and go whenever he wants.
+2/+2 has, of course, been started by now. Charge is nearly done.
Oh, catches a Templar for a feedback, and that's a great trade for SuperNova.
But Charge is done. Charge is done. He can't
needs to get out of here. Yes. SuperNova cannot stay against this army. The blink is good, and Creator wants to actually seal the deal now.
And here comes the point where SuperNova has to fight, and he does, and he uses his stim. A lot of DPS here, both of them dropping in supply, but SuperNova is still ahead in army supply.
Oh my god, he's actually pushing back the Immortals. His upgrades are just so much better.
But there's so many Stalkers. The reinforcements are not here just yet, and the stim, of course, has done a lot of damage to those units.
Counter. Creator doesn't have a third Nexus, but SuperNova has moved his command center. If he actually rallies back home and continues his upgrades, he may still have a fighting chance in this game.
Yeah, he definitely does. Right now, we have 37 army supply for SuperNova and only 33
for Creator. The Warp Prism
Creator.
is a problem, though. He's losing SCVs at his natural.
What a crazy game!
But this may end up being a mistake. That's a lot of resources dumped into this harassment for Creator. He did not kill very many workers. He's still ahead about 20, but he needs to wait for this Nexus to finish before he can accomplish much. Gets a medevac here. That's quite helpful.
Yeah, every unit counts at this point in time. This game is insane. The third base now, of course, been started for Creator. He would actually be better off of using a few of his harvesters to go long distance mining.
Yeah. What a crazy thing. Now he's starting to do the long distance mining. He knows this is the right choice. Sends his probes across. Oh, this is so intense. SuperNova does not have enough money to start 3 for his armor upgrade, whereas Creator is now on 2-2, so only a slight advantage in upgrades now for SuperNova, not what it once was. He doesn't have any ghosts either. He doesn't have the Ghost Academy. He has very few production facilities.
But he will get ahead in overall supply if he wants to. He's reproducing SCVs. He might even just add another orbital later on or move the orbital at his natural as soon as it's mined out. But this game is getting really completely crazy. I mean, this is insane. These back and forth attacks that we had so far. This is magnificent. For a tiebreaker, this is the best case scenario. And that is the Ghost Academy that you just mentioned.
Yeah, and he knows his opponent is not making Colossus anymore. Warp Prism taking some hits here. The army supply further and further is in SuperNova's favor, 66 to 44. And he's going to use this timing. He knows his opponent does not have Storm, does not have any High Templar, and he's actually going. Creator may just die to this attack. He doesn't have enough units to really hold this third base comfortably. This is a great timing, a great choice by SuperNova. How can Creator hope to hold, with worse upgrades, a smaller army count?
I don't think
there's so many medevacs, and he's just got this massive army. He's going to have the better concave as well.
The Archons are there now, but this army composition, can it really withstand the pressure of SuperNova's Fire Force with all these units being heavily upgraded, having Stim at their disposal? He can even drop in the main base if he wants to take down the
SCVs are being
structures.
pulled, and Creator sees it with the Warp Prism.
He really wants to go for it right now. He really wants to end this now. He knows that he hasn't timing and he wants to use it. Even picks off the one observer. So now Creator doesn't have an idea at all where exactly SuperNova is being positioned.
Here we go. He stims and retreats. He wants to wait for the SCVs. This is buying Creator some valuable time. And now he attacks. He's got +3 on all these units, +2 armor. The SCVs take the damage from force fields. Do more harm than good. And I think SuperNova may just have too much. The medevac's out healing the damage.
The probes already moving in. All of them already gone. And SuperNova is just stimming through. Using Stim once again. The Stalker's blinking back, trying to escape here. But it's already too late. Creator is down on his last leg. He's trying to escape. But this Nexus has no chance whatsoever.
No chance whatsoever. He goes for the blink. He wants to go for the counterattack. He's got 4 Stalkers. He can warp in 2 more. But SuperNova, I just don't think it can be stopped right now. I cannot believe this is one of the craziest comebacks I have ever seen.
This is insane. This game is so crazy. This is completely nuts. And he moves again into the natural. Takes down the Arc and the probes. They die. And now he can take down all the structures on the low ground. The expansion, the pylons, and of course also the production facilities. Creator with, I don't even want to call this a counter-attack. It's like, I don't know, what is this? An attempt to distract SuperNova. SuperNova is just completely crushing everything here.
Oh, he's going to kill the orbital though.
No, not really.
Just barely not. If he... No, he doesn't get it. And now, there's no way. GG!
Wow, SuperNova wins the game. And look at him. Wow, he knows that he just pulled off an incredible comeback here.
And he knows he's got to win the next game if he wants to be Code S, or else it all starts over again.
If he does not win against Vampire, then this is over, and this gives Vampire a chance. He lost against Creator, and then he looked at this and he was like, oh my god, am I really out right now? Will one of them take it? But now he has a chance of turning things around here. He needs to win against SuperNova to force a second tiebreaker.
This is insane. By the way, tons of people tweeting at us saying they're watching live, and shout outs to you guys. This is going to be a long night for everybody, or a late morning, or if you're in Europe, potentially, I guess you're at work right now, whatever you're up to. This may not end anytime soon. SuperNova 1 win away from taking that Code S spot, but he's up against another Protoss. SuperNova is so good in this matchup. No matter what build he chooses, no matter what happens, he has a transition. He knows what to do. Even if he loses so many workers, he has the potential to hold. His upgrades won him the game, though. That is it. Upgrades and mules, man.
And guys, we have 11:20 p.m. in Korea here. Vampire against SuperNova. And as mentioned before, Trader's on the clock.
He is on the clock, man. If this game lasts more than 40 minutes starting from now, Creator will not legally be able to play his match.
I really want to know what happens then. I want to see that happen.
I would be curious myself. For his sake, though, I will say I do not want it to happen.
Well, what do you mean for his sake?
The thing is, here's the thing. If SuperNova finishes this now in less than 40 minutes, then he may not be able to play regardless. So it's like, well, I don't know, man.
Oh my god. SuperNova against Vampire. Remember, guys, earlier on, this was the one of the matches that Vampire actually won. That was the game on Metropolis. Yes. And now it's on Ohana. Wow.